Hello, my name is Robert Wheeler. This is a short instructional video on how to cut something that's larger than your bed on the Gweike M3 Ultra using the MLaser software. This isn't the only way that this can be done, but it is a way that I think makes sense, and hopefully the way I explain it makes sense to you. Few prerequisites: you're going to have a way to align your material square to the bed. If not, your cuts will not line up correctly between your first and second cut. You're going to want to remove your pass-through covers if needed. We're going to use the float coordinate origin. So up on your start tab, you're going to, under the coordinates, you're going to choose float coordinates. We're going to assume that for this instructional video, that we're going to cut the top part of the design first, and then we're going to cut the bottom part. We'll also assume that you've made all the appropriate layer cut settings, lead-ins, microjoints, etc. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import our design. So I've got this design of two dogs, and I want to size it to be 1200 millimeters tall. So once I've done that, I'm just going to move it up here. Okay, so you can see the gray line defines what the bed size is, and you can see the design is actually taller than what the bed size is. So what we're going to do is effectively cut this design in half, and then cut the top half and then the bottom half. So the first thing we want to do is, under the draw tab, we're going to draw a horizontal line that is wider than the design, and then we're going to move it down somewhere around the middle, somewhere where it makes sense, where you would want to cut this design in half. It can be anywhere you want, provided it's in a logical place to cut it in half. So once that's done, we're then going to create a square near the leftmost part of our design, just to the left of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to size this square to be 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters. Now you can make this square any size you want. I'm just happen to make it 10 by 10. Now once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and delete the bottom and right side of the square. And the way I'm going to do that is, on the common tab, I'm going to use this split tool, and I'm just going to click in the top right, the bottom left. I'm going to hit escape, highlight that bottom right side of the square, and hit delete. Now once I've deleted that and I've just got the right angle there, I want to highlight it and use my arrow key to move it up so it is just above the horizontal line we created. So now once we've done that, we're going to want to create a second copy of our design. So highlight your design, including the horizontal line and registration mark. Hit Control-C and go ahead and place that second design. Now from here, what we want to do is we want to delete everything below the horizontal line on the left side, and then on the right side we're going to delete everything above the horizontal line. So on the draw tab, we've got a cut tool. So choose the cut tool, zoom in, and you're just going to delete by left clicking on these lines that are below. And you see here we've got just a little tiny bit, so I'm just going to zoom in, delete that. Same here. Okay, once we've deleted everything that's crossing that horizontal line, I'm going to hit escape, and I'm just going to highlight the rest of everything that's below that line and delete. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and choose the cut tool again, and I'm going to zoom in on this right side design, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the bottom, only I'm now doing it to the top. Okay, same here. I'm going to want to zoom in. Okay, once I've deleted everything that crosses that line, I'll hit escape, and then I'm going to highlight everything else that's above the line and delete it. Okay, from there, I'm just going to delete both horizontal lines. And now basically what we've got there is we've got the top section and the bottom section of our design, along with a registration mark with both of the designs. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and save this design 2 times, so that way if we screw up one copy, we've got another copy to use. So I'm just going to go up here, go to the start and hit Save As. And I'm going to save this first file. You can call them whatever you want. I'm just going to call one bottom. And then I'm going to save as again. And I'm going to save one as top. Okay, and we have the top file open right now. So I'm going to delete the bottom section of our design, including that registration mark. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight the top section of my design, and you're going to want to set your home reference point to the top left of your design. So we'll click on home reference with the whole design highlighted. We're going to choose top left, say OK, and then we're going to go ahead and move our design into the cut area. Okay, from here we're now going to want to set our material on the bed where the top half of our material is sitting in the cut area. We're going to want to move our red laser, or the red dot for our laser, to the top left of the material. And then we're going to want to go ahead and cut this design. So I'm going to use Simulate here to cut it. Okay, and this will cut our design out, and it'll also cut that little right angle 90. Okay, so once that's cut, we can then go ahead and open up that other file that has both top and bottom in it. And I'll just open bottom here, and then we can go ahead and delete everything but that bottom section, and we'll move that over into our cut area. And since we chose home reference as the top left previously, it should have stayed, but you can just click on home reference and validate that that top left is set. Okay, and you see if we zoom in, our home reference point is going to be this corner of this registration mark. So what you want to do is you want to move your material up in the bed so that the bottom half of your material now is over the cut area. You're going to want to make sure this registration mark is within the cut area, and then you're going to want to align your laser head to the corner of that registration mark. And also remember, you've got to make sure that your material is square to the bed. So that way from left to right, everything comes together correctly. Once that's lined up with the red laser on the corner of that material, then go ahead and make sure you've highlighted your whole design and go ahead and cut it. And then, provided you lined everything up, your design should have cut out correctly where it's one big design that is larger than your bed. So anyway, I hope that all made sense. If it doesn't, feel free to leave questions in the comments, or I'm Robert Wheeler on Facebook. You can message me there, and hopefully this will allow you guys to cut designs that are larger than your bed pretty trouble-free.